This is the world's toughest podcast. Welcome to the world's toughest podcast, where we talk about any obstacle course race you'd like, as long as that's world's toughest mudder. Each week we talk to members of the WTM community and share stories of success and failure in the single greatest event in OCR. My name is Will Hicks, and this is the world's toughest podcast. Welcome to episode 003. Today on our show,
my name is Kevin Chow, aka Mr. Chow.
But before we talk to Kevin, so we are now less than 3 weeks away from the first Tough Mudder of the season, and less than 4 weeks away from the first toughest mudder ever in Los Angeles, and less than 37 weeks away from World's Toughest Mudder. I know Pinky is keeping a countdown on the community page. Hey, thanks for all the kind words as the podcast gets off the ground here. Some guys said some stuff online that was very kind. Drake, John Lee, Philip Levi, Zach Baker all had kind words for us. Appreciate it. Also, Allison Ty, who got 75 miles this year for the ladies, and John McClellan all had kind words. Kris Mendoza, who got third place in 2016 with 100 miles, he said something. I just wanted to read that. This is from the World's Toughest Mudder community page. Kris said, just listened to the first one with Melissa Dugan, and it was great. I love listening to friends about an awesome topic, so I'm sure I'm going to love the others too. I definitely agree with her about the start line at WTM. We all better start together regardless of, quote, status. Everyone together with Sean Carvel leading us out. And I think we should keep Jim Campbell at the front too. Kris, I agree with you, and here's what I think. I don't have any inside information or anything, but I can't imagine they would have more than one actual start wave at World's Toughest Mudder. Here's the way I think it's going to happen. The guys who have qualified for elite contender status by getting a top 5 finish at one of the toughest mudders will be at the front at World's Toughest Mudder, or right on the start line by the inflatable arch. Everybody who's qualified for contender status will be right behind them. To get contender status at a World's Toughest Mudder, you need to finish 25 miles at a toughest mudder. Behind them will be everybody else. You don't have to run a toughest mudder to compete at World's Toughest Mudder. If you want to qualify for cash and prizes at World's Toughest Mudder, you need to get contender status at a toughest mudder by finishing 25 miles. So everyone will be in the same starting chute at 11:59, ready to go. And when Sean says go at 12 noon, or whatever time it is this year, we all go at once, just like it's been every year before. And again, this is just me guessing. Eli and Nolan could be listening to this right now, just laughing their heads off at how wrong I am. Oh, and how crazy is it that Kris got 100 miles, and that was third place this year? 100 miles would have won every other year except one, and it only got third place this year. I don't know if I could handle that. Kris, you are a stronger man than I. Well, obviously, but I mean mentally also. All right, that's enough of me talking. If you'd like to give feedback on the show, you can email me at willhicks@gmail.com. You can leave a comment on the community page, or you can leave a review on iTunes. I would love it if you left a review on iTunes. Let's talk to Kevin Chow. Kevin Chow.
Hi.
Tell me about
What's
your
up?
first World's Toughest Mudder.
Oh, my first Worlds was back in when it first moved to Vegas in 2014. So I had run a bunch of tough mudders and sparring races ever since 2011. So I ran a few here and there, and so my first Worlds was pretty crazy. If you guys don't know, that was a sandstorm year.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So I got a wetsuit, so I was well prepared. I asked a lot of questions throughout the community and a lot of people that have been through Worlds already. So it helped a lot to know what gear choices to make. And so I did pretty well. I was happy I got 50 miles, which is you earn your brown bib. And I think that's pretty much a big goal for majority of the people.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, but being in that sandstorm is something else. I mean, that's something that Not a lot of people can say they were out there in that sandstorm.
How did you do in the sandstorm?
I did okay. I mean, I was out there, so I think I was happy. I was one of I forget how many people dropped out and how many people were actually out there at night, but I dealt with it. I mean, I kind of embraced it and just figured if I signed up for Worlds, and if you're gonna just quit, then why did I pay, or why am I showing up here? So I figure if I'm not hurt, I'm gonna still be out there,
Yeah.
for sure. So
How many times have you done World's Toughest?
so I've that was my first year, and then this last year was my third. So yeah, every 2014, 15, and 16, I've gone to Vegas, and I've gradually increased my mileage every year, which I'm pretty proud of.
How'd you do this year?
I got to 65 miles.
Nice.
So I'm knocking on the door for 75 miles.
Next year?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
What did you think about this year's course?
This year, I really liked it. It was a lot less water. I think I really liked the different obstacles. They're challenging, but they really, as you go along each lap, I think I felt a lot more confidence with them. I like Double Rainbow. I think I only failed at one time. And then Kong was pretty tough. It was okay in the beginning. Then the grip strength just ran out. It's basically rings, a series of rings that you cross, and then it's a pretty big drop. But and I liked, what else was a new one? The other Funky Monkey, I guess, is a Revolution.
Yeah.
I really liked that one where they changed it up with the big wheels at the end, the three wheels.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really cool. I did pretty well on those. I think I failed maybe twice, I think. And so the way this year, they kind of threw us off a little bit, where they kind of modified the obstacles during the night. Some were made easier, some were made a little bit harder. So that kind of just mentally kind of throws you off a little bit. But
were you glad for the help when they changed the obstacles, or do you wish they left them alone?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. For me, it definitely helps. And then, I mean, you would think they would keep it, but I kind of figured they just made it easier for a few times, and then they'll turn it back to the original. So I kind of knew. I mean, that's the way usually Tough Mudder is. They kind of always modified a lot of obstacles. I remember, I think the year before, 2015, I think they switched a few obstacles as well. So it's nothing new, kind of. So, I kind of expect all the different variations of the obstacles. So, yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I think a lot of people were happy because I think majority of the people got more mileage than they sort of anticipated, or So, I mean, this is probably the most 50 milers and 75 milers of any Worlds. So,
oh yeah, I think I read somewhere like half the people that started got 50 miles or more.
Wow, yeah.
That's not exact. I can't. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a bunch of people that got 100. So
yeah,
that was a big thing. I think 6 people, or I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So that was, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the course overall kind of was a little bit easier mileage-wise. And, the obstacles weren't, from my point of view, weren't as hard as the years past.
What was your favorite obstacle this year?
Probably Double Rainbow, yeah.
Right.
Really, it just felt like you're just floating and walking on air when you're doing it. So it was really cool. Just, I mean, it looks really crazy. I mean, just transitioning from one trapeze to the next.
Yeah.
But it's really not that far of a reach. So once you grab hold of that second one, it just cruise right through to that airbag, which is it's just that feeling of accomplishment. It was like, wow, it wasn't really that hard, So yeah.
So every World's Toughest you've been to has been in Vegas. What do you think about coming back one more year?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that because I'm on the West Coast, so uh, Vegas isn't too far away, and it's a cheap flight over. And Vegas is like it has everything. I mean, it's huge, and it's got so many things to do. I know people that went to Jersey. It's just pretty much nothing really too exciting around there, and the course was relatively flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where else I mean, people have rumored different places, and who knows? I mean, who knows if they'll stay in Vegas again? If they'll go overseas or Canada or something? I don't know, but I'm pretty happy with Vegas, and especially with the cliff. I think I really liked the cliff after a while. It's just that thrill of just jumping at nighttime, especially. It's pretty special. So I think they really want to keep that for a little while, especially with CBS on board now.
Sure. How many regular Tough Mudder events have you done?
So I've just late last year I reached 25 events. So I just got the 25 headband. So it's all on the West Coast. I've done, Whistler, Seattle, LA, Tahoe, and Vegas. So I've done all those up and down the West Coast for the last, I guess, 5 years, I think. Yeah, so 25, and then I think that's where I'm gonna kind of stick at. I don't know if I'll ever reach 50. Mm-hmm. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
When did you start doing Tough Mudders?
So my first one was 2011 in Tahoe. So that was the first year I don't know if they came out in 2010 or 2011, but that was the first year they had it at Squaw Valley. Uh-huh. And that was pretty tough.
Is that the one where people were walking up the ski mountain, like carrying those aluminum foil blankets?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of definitely, yeah.
I saw a video of that after I'd done my first Tough Mudder, and I was like, oh man, I'm glad mine wasn't like that.
Yeah, it's scary. And that was like, I think it's pretty much Tough Mudder was still so new, and a lot of the obstacles, I don't know if they expected it to be so rough for some people.
Sure.
I mean, people don't know what they're doing. I mean, how to train or how to just suffer through it. And a lot of people either, just quit or hypothermia or got injured or something. But I just remember the obstacle walk the plank, and then you basically had to, jump, I don't know how, 20 feet, 15, 20 feet off a platform, and then you had to swim across the lake. So there was a lake, and then you basically had to swim across the lake and bob under 3 sets of barrels. And it was just like, okay, basically, if you don't know how to swim, you shouldn't even do it. But people are going to try to go for it. Yeah. And it was really scary for a lot of people. I don't know. I mean, there's no life vests, or there's I think there was a rope on the side, but it was really scary.
My first Tough Mudder was in 2012, and they had that barrel, ducking under barrels thing there too. But I haven't seen it since that very first one.
Yeah, it's the risk of it is, I think it's not worth it. Well, yeah.
When you go to the events, when you travel, do you usually do both days?
Yeah. From now on, I do. Yes, I do multiple laps and both days for sure. Yeah.
Have you kept track of how many laps you've done?
I think I'm upwards near 50 laps. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah. Because ever since, I guess, late 2014, when I signed up for Worlds, that's when I started training and basically doing multiple laps. So that's the reason why, most of us do multiple laps is for training for Worlds. So yeah, I think I'm getting close to 50 or somewhere around there. Yeah.
Last year in the community, there was kind of I don't know if it was a heated discussion or if it was all in fun, but if it's events that count for your headband or if it's
Right.
number of laps to count for your headband.
Yeah, that's always an ongoing thing. I count events, and I think that's more of a legit type of thing. It's always going to be debatable. Someone says this, someone says that. I don't know if Sean Corvell had said something, and then Will Dean said something too. But most of us are kind of going with the event days.
I think that's kind of where it's settled, was event day.
Yeah,
but I guess it depends who you ask too. So
yeah, I mean, it's just basically, it's whatever, it's sort of just what you feel. I mean, nobody is really. It's just accountability on yourself, and you can say whatever you want to say. Take the 25 headband or whatever, but yeah, it's not a big deal though, I think.
What's the best moment you've ever had at a Tough Mudder or World's Toughest?
Let's see. Best moment. A lot of crazy moments. So one thing that I really enjoy is EST. So I'm kind of crazy and wired that way.
Electroshock.
Yes. So I go through it all with all crazy ideas and different things that I want to do. But I think one moment was just last year in Tahoe. His name's Joe Herman.
Okay.
So basically, he was getting his 25th headband, and he asked me to crown him in the EST. So it was pretty crazy. So it was a group of us on Sunday, and we finished it, and then I think about maybe 10 of us were in there. So we just kind of found a spot in the middle, and then he bowed down, and I gave him his headband and kissed him on the head, and it was pretty cool though. So I don't know. That was very special just to be asked to do that.
Yeah.
And and then doing it in EST too. So
kind of your favorite obstacle.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah.
I told Sharkbait I was going to talk to you, and she said I should ask you about how many times you've done the Iron Cross through EST.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've done it blindfolded. I've done it backwards. I've done it doing like the serpentine thing, and I don't know. I've done it probably at least a dozen times by now. Kind of running out of ideas,
I think I saw a video of you eating a piece of cake going through it.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's fun. I mean, I think what makes it so much fun is because Clinton really just makes it so much, he's hyping everyone up. He's really, and then it's always at the end. So there's a big crowd around.
Right.
So it's just, it's fun. It's a little show. It's not, and I really enjoy it. I mean, I've done, I've done warrior carries through, I've done, backwards. I've drank beer through it, a few times.
Still hurts, right?
A little bit. Just tickles. I mean, I still feel it. Yeah, of course. But it's just, I don't know. It's, it's not that bad. I think what's worse was when I did was it electric eel?
Oh yeah.
So it's basically you have to crawl through it, and you can't really avoid the wires on that. So that one was pretty tough. I think the last one I did was on electric eel was maybe 2012. So I've kind of missed that obstacle.
Yeah, it was gone for a while, and they started bringing it back last year.
Yeah, I heard so, but I don't think it made it to Worlds because people were saying it was going to be at Worlds. But
what's the lowest point you've ever been at a Tough Mudder or Worlds?
Not too many. Let's see. I think last year. So last year I was really trying to push for 75 miles. So I was going really well. I hit 50 miles, I think at hour maybe hour 13 or 14. So I hit it pretty early because I think I was on pace for like 80 when I got to 40 miles. So I got to 40 miles around hour 12.
Mm-hmm.
So afterwards, of course, your pace will drop like a lot after, you start going into the night. So I think mentally, I just felt like, okay, I got to 50. That's cool. Now 75 is not too much further away. It's like, okay, but I think just everything mentally, physically just started dropping. It's just like my body was breaking down, and I don't know if my body was I don't know if I wasn't replenishing it correctly or what, but everything started hurting, and so I got only to 65. So I felt like, oh man, what a big letdown kind of thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing about Worlds is you always try to make a certain mileage, and of course you feel like, what could I have done better? So every year, we all go through that. So I think yeah, it kind of hit me kind of hard, I think. And it's just like, it just, I should have took more pain meds or something, or just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Was it pain that stopped you, or just fatigue, or?
I think, well, biggest thing was my feet were just killing me. Yeah, I think my feet were killing me. Plus, I was just getting super sleepy. Yeah, I don't know. And I just was walking a lot. Like just even on the downs, I could really move very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. So that kind of hurts, I mean, it is what it is, and that's why I'll go back next year.
Yeah. Tell me about the Tough Mudder community.
Oh, okay. So community. So I think I started with a bunch of coworkers, and so that was the first 2 or 3 years I started doing that, and then they start dwindling away where they say, oh, I'm one and done or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this one friend that I worked with that he's gone to 5 World's Toughest Mudders. So it was kind of a weird thing, but yeah, he's kind of crazy like that. And so he keeps going. So we kind of connected with that. And I think just having that friend or that partner there always is a big deal. I know a lot of people that are with teams or, either with their spouses or their training partners, whatever it is, they're
Mm-hmm.
always going. But yeah, I just have that one friend, and, gradually event after event, we kind of just start seeing the same people. And then once you go to Worlds, the whole community just opens up. I mean, and then once they opened the Facebook page, it was just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And, not even meeting so many of these people, you're just automatically just connected. It's just a special kind of community where you just understand each other. And it's kind of moved on to more even the personal side of life.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are out there just either donating money or just showing up to each other people's houses and just hanging out. I mean, it's just, there's so many events that there's so many opportunities to be able to hang out and, renting a big place, all staying together. It's really cool. And it's just like, a lot of newbies coming in, we're just like opening the door for them. And just, it's become a big part of, my life as well as a lot of other people's lives, that we just stick to this community. And it's sometimes people, even our families, don't understand how important the community is. Because, I mean, we're all crazy, but our families will never understand that. It's weird. Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, something that we'll keep for a long while, I think. Yeah.
What's your plan for this year? Are you going to go to any of the toughest events?
So yeah, I'm planning to go to LA and Chicago toughest. So those are just the two I'm gonna probably go to. Well, I'm going to, yeah. I went to Whistler last year, but I think that's not in the cards this year. It's just because Tahoe and Whistler are always back-to-back weekends, which is kind of tough. And Tahoe's sort of my my home site or home event that I always go to.
Sure,
yeah.
Chicago's supposed to be a flatter course.
Yeah, I've always heard that.
Are you going to try and get the, 25 miles or top 30, whatever it is, for contender status?
Yeah, I mean, the 25 miles is to be contender status, which is not, I don't think it's too far out of reach, but it's sort of like, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like the Tough Mudder half with the 5-mile course and I think about 13 obstacles.
I've heard 5-mile course, but also the obstacles are going to be, some of them are going to be harder. Did you see the video Team HQ put out?
I saw a little bit, yeah.
So like,
so they're going to make
King of the Swingers is going to be like swinging into a cargo net and then kind of sliding down.
Oh yeah, right. Some little modified obstacles or okay.
So I don't think it'll be as easy as a half, but I think they want it to be not as hard as World's Toughest.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm totally guessing here. I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
What about in LA? Are you going to run because Toughest runs from midnight to 8 a.m. on Sunday morning? Mm-hmm. Are you going to run on Saturday before?
Yeah, I'm planning on running Saturday morning. Yes.
I think
probably easy lap. Probably just one. Probably just one. We'll see. I mean, if I wouldn't say 2 laps are out of the question, but definitely one where at least we could get a feel of the course, and if there are new obstacles out there, we could kind of at least see them. Or, I don't know if they'll be set up yet or how that's going to work, but yeah, I'll definitely be running that first, not the tougher wave, but probably the next wave. Yeah.
You mean tougher is that's also something new they're trying, the competitive first wave.
Yeah, it's kind of there's been mixed reviews on that as well, so that really goes outside of what Tough Mudder what their whole whatchamacallit, like their whole viewpoint are, like to be a team type of thing or to help out each other, but it's become, just all for one man for themselves, or one man, one woman for themselves, and just go for that prize money, I guess. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I guess it does cater to a little bit different, more competitive crowd, but I'm all for it. I mean, it's whenever we run our first wave, there is a little competitiveness on some of us anyways. So, I know like Wesley Kerr is always at the top there, and then there's a few other guys right at the top at the first wave. So, I mean, Wes doesn't brag about it, but I know some other people have said, "Oh man, I came in second," or,
Right.
But, it's all good. I think it won't take away a lot from Tough Mudder, though. I think it's just, it'll just have, I don't even think there's going to be a lot of people doing that tougher wave anyways. So
I think it might be a different crowd coming for that tougher wave than maybe would have come without the tougher wave.
Right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
The cool thing about Tough Mudder is even when there's money on the line, like at World's Toughest this last year, Ryan Atkins and John Alden were chasing $100,000, and I saw them helping people up Everest.
Right.
Which is just ridiculous to think about. They're trying to make a huge payday, and they're helping guys who are going to do 30 or 40 miles get up. Anyway.
Oh yeah. I think it's almost like regardless of where people are coming from, if you're running a Tough Mudder or Worlds, it's just a thing that you do, is to help out, regardless if it's just one person or just won every other obstacle or whatever it is. I've seen everyone helping each other. I mean, so it's pretty cool that it just, everybody, I think, in some way wants to help each other out, So
It's more fun. It's like better stories
yeah.
afterwards. You feel good about yourself. Yeah, no, I enjoy helping pull people up the wall.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a big part of like when we do multiple days on events. So on Sunday, we're just out there taking our time, and we're out there helping as many people as we can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes so far. That one person you helped over will probably remember it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh wow, my first time I ran, and these guys all helped me out and encouraged. So it's like, yeah. I mean, doesn't take a whole lot to help someone.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of people, their Tough Mudder is like a one-time thing and kind of check off a bucket list. And if you can make it an amazing experience for them, then they might be back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Did you see the TV shows at Christmas?
Right. Yeah. I saw a bunch of those. It was interesting. I mean, I know CBS was a big part of it, so they featured on a few of the athletes, and most of them are some of the top competitors. But that's what Worlds is pretty much. It's not so much about the community. It's about who's trying to win it. So, but it's cool. I mean, now that they had the CW series, which touches on the more normal people, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
the everyday person. So I wish they kind of did that before Worlds. Kind of at least give you a background of what Tough Mudder is before the Worlds
Mm-hmm.
series. So, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, it is what it is,
I'm afraid that CW series is going to get overlooked because it's online only, and it's on.
Right.
They're going to have an hour on the CW network, but I don't even know what channel it is where I live.
Okay.
But it was really like I just watched it yesterday, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
The two main complaints I heard from people about the Christmas show was there weren't enough of the obstacles, and there wasn't enough of the normal people. And the CW show, the first 7-minute episode has as much of the obstacles as like the whole 1 hour Christmas show did.
Okay.
So, and it's all, and then like it's all regular people, like the whole thing. There's no Ryan Atkins, there's no Amelia Boone. It's just, average Joe and Joe Schmoes that are out there, doing the best they can. And
that's I think that's where, a lot of the OCR communities need to touch that on, because I mean, it is the regular person that is the majority of the people running. The small percentage of elite athletes doesn't compare to the masses of thousands of people that are running, and the teams that are out there and the first timers. I mean, so I feel like they really need to touch on that. I mean,
yeah, Tough Mudder's in a hard spot because if I'm sitting down to watch sports on Christmas with my dad, or with someone who's knows nothing about Tough Mudder, the thing with Trevor and Austin, that was riveting television. It was,
right.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people want to see. I want to see myself on TV.
Yeah, or just the normal person trying to struggle for 50 miles, and maybe not even making it there, or just. I know Tiffany, she's been through a lot, and it's kind of nice that they featured on her.
Yeah.
And just her whole story. But, they need to try to get on more of that.
You said Tahoe is kind of your home course. Do you have a favorite one?
It's hard to compare. They're all a little bit different. I mean, I really like Whistler.
I've heard that one's really pretty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose between Tahoe and Whistler, I would probably pick Whistler every time, because it's amazing. Yeah, just the views and the panoramic views of just the mountain ranges and everything is pretty awesome. And the whole Whistler Village area is really cool. A lot of places to hang out, and just everybody basically stays up there, and it's all about the community. So we really try to embrace that. Yeah, I mean, I've only been to Whistler one time, so I love it, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say that that's my favorite. I would always say Tahoe is my favorite. It's just because of the hills. I mean, the mountains is just so challenging, and now that is not it's at North Star, so that's a pretty cool venue that they have going on there. So yeah, Tahoe.
What's your favorite obstacle?
Well, I touched on it earlier, so it's EST, the electric shock. Yeah.
What's your
Really
least
love
favorite obstacle?
Oh, okay. Least favorite. Hmm.
Is there one that when you walk up to it, you're like, oh, not this again?
Yeah. So they, I've had bad experiences with twinkle toes.
Okay.
So they they had that at Worlds this year at Worlds, which I dreaded. So I at a regular event back in when they had a Tough Mudder at Patterson. They had twinkle toes, or it's kind of like a twinkle toes slash what they call Family Feud. So it's kind of like a new obstacle where
I
they had
remember that.
these big balls that I don't know kids or people were trying to
They had
throw
spectators
at
kind of
you,
like pushing them at you.
yeah,
Yeah.
to knock you over. Uh, so yeah, when I was going across, the ball hit me, of course, and then I actually tried to jump over to the next uh, balance beam,
Uh huh.
and I kind of I don't know what I was doing. I just tried to jump for it, and then I actually banged my ribs, and
Oh,
it
geez.
just knocked the wind out of me. So yeah, just sort of bad memories came up again at this Worlds where I saw it, and so I think my second lap. So I did it the first lap, and then the second lap I went across. I think there's another guy on the other one of the other balance beams, and he just basically landed on his crotch. So and then I was like, oh, ouch, So that just that just freaked me out. So yeah, I took the penalty quite a bit on that one.
They
I just
closed it
want to.
down like halfway through.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know exactly when they closed it, but it seemed closed. Um, I don't know what time, but it was closed for a while.
Oh, good. Because yeah, I just wasn't gonna take the risk. Yeah, I just know from experience if you get hurt, you're not gonna continue on for very much longer. So the risk of getting hurt on that one was too great. So yeah, I don't want to see that obstacle again, please. Yeah.
What do you think about the new obstacles, like Augustus Gloop?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that one. It wasn't too bad. You can basically, I mean, as long as you're not too claustrophobic or anything, you can get up that pretty quickly. You can kind of shield the water. It's not. Yeah, I kind of wasn't too bad. That's all. The tough one I think was what was it? The reach around, or what did they call that one?
Stage 5 clinger.
Yeah. So that was. I mean, I know they made that one a little bit easier with the cargo net and the ladder,
Mm-hmm.
but it was pretty tough. I mean, the monkey bars were getting slippery, and just trying to swing yourself over up on top was getting tough. So that one was fun, but after X amount of times, it kind of wears on you big time. Yeah, those two. What else was there?
We talked a little bit Funky Monkey Revolution.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one. And then I don't know if I would love to see Double Rainbow again, but now they have this other one coming out for Toughest. I forget. Does it have a name?
I don't know the name. They might call it Swingers 2.0 or something like that.
Okay. But that one definitely looks pretty fun to jump out to a cargo net, and it's basically a zip line.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Did you ever take the penalty where you had to do Arctic Enema 3.0 at Worlds?
Oh yeah, from the walls? No, I didn't. I saw it, yeah, which I don't really it would be kind of freaky going in underneath at night already, and then not knowing, and it's cold. So, I mean, you're already cold already at nighttime, but I didn't have any inclination to take that penalty at all. No.
I did the regular Tough Mudder in Vegas, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks before Worlds, and it was part of the course.
Right.
And it was during the daytime, so it wasn't that bad, but it was not fun. Like you're going through those black tubes they have, and they told us to go head first, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. So, the guy I was going through with, it was pretty stressful for him. He was like, yeah, this is not my favorite. We usually play like paper, rock, scissors, to get out.
Oh, and,
not that time.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that. I mean, I guess that's going to be at the regular events or toughest?
I don't know.
Or something.
I think the regular events, yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to see.
It's kind of scary for some people.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I mean, it's so scary that they don't even have it at the halves.
Okay, right.
It's right up there with Electroshock for a lot of people. Like, so they do. That's one of the ones they take out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I enjoy Arctic Enema, but when you're forced to go, basically where you can't even see anything, then that's kind of a little scary feeling. I mean, I'll sit in Arctic Enema for a while doing rock, paper, scissors, and it's no problem. But doing that, going through that tube into ice cold water, it's like, oh, okay. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Hey, okay, last question. Melissa Sharkbait Dugan wanted me to ask you about your diet. She says you basically eat garbage, but you're still ripped.
Oh, yeah.
What's the story there?
I don't know. I think it's just it works. That's all I have to say. I just need calories, no matter what they are. I'll just eat anything. Pizza, burgers. My pre-race meal is Uncrustables and Guinness. So that's...
Is it before World's Toughest or before every Tough Mudder?
Worlds too, yeah. I did like 2 Uncrustables, some chug down of Guinness, and added, what is it? One of those, like a yogurt. But yeah, it's that's basically all I do. I used to be even worse and chug down a Four Loko, which was.
Do you eat like that during training too?
Yeah. I mean, before my long runs, I always do not so much the beer, but I always do the Uncrustables. Yeah, all the time. So it works. I mean, and especially after my runs and my workouts, I'll just pig out on some In-N-Out or some pizza or anything just for calories. And I'm Asian, so I have a high metabolism already, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know where it goes. It's kind of weird, but I wouldn't always recommend it to everyone to eat like how I eat, but it works for me.
Special thanks to Kevin Chow for appearing in this episode. Thank you, Kevin. Also, thanks to Melissa Dugan for supplying a couple of questions there, and to Kris Mendoza for his insightful comment. If you guys want to leave comments, drop them on the community page, shoot me an email at willhicks@gmail.com, or leave a review on iTunes. Thanks a lot, you guys.